without caste census, it is very difficult for another 1 decade to wait, and there will be issues with dominant castes like Marathas, Kapus in South India, Marathas in Maharashtra, or Jats in Haryana, Gujars. These are the communities where they are asking for their inclusion within this OBC group. This 27 percentage is not increasing, but there are groups demanding, dominant groups demanding for the inclusion into this OBC category. And the states are also having, this is a politics, so the politics and policy that is combining together. States are they want vote bank, and they are adding these communities into OBC. So these are the different issues for different questions that are being asked by the judiciary, or that are being asked by the executive or the legislative. Caste census will provide so many data, so many answers for these questions, typical, critical.
Hello friends, my name is Abhay Kumar, and today we have got some friends from Hyderabad Central University. They have come all the way from HCU to protest at Jantar Mantar in New Delhi, and the issue is caste census. They are demanding that complete caste census should be done, and the government is trying to evade that question. Why this question is important? Because now Marathas are asking for reservations, different castes from OBC caste from different states, they are demanding reservations. On the other hand, the Manuwadi and the Brahmanical forces are saying that OBC reservation has lost its relevance and only a few castes sitting at the top, they are enjoying everything, and most of the castes are kept deprived of reservations. So these are very, very controversial issues, and we all know that Hindutva government is ruling our country, and they have their own Manuwadi and Hindutva agenda. But people from backward classes, they are protesting. And one important thing we have to keep in mind, that yesterday Mandal Divas was being celebrated. We all know that on 7th August 1990, BPC implemented the Mandal Commissions, and Mandal Commissions had many recommendations, but just reservations in jobs and reservation in educational institutes were implemented. They were made into laws, but time and again hurdles are being created, and backward classes are kept deprived from their legitimate rights. Friends, you also know that in NEET, that is National Test for Medical Students, OBC students were kept out of the benefits of the reservation for 4-5 years. Now government, under the pressure, has restored the reservation. So I have got G. Kiran Kumar, who is All India OBC Students Association's leader from Hyderabad. He is also doing PhD in political science at University of Hyderabad. So sir, you have said that tomorrow you are holding protest, and students from HCU, JNU, Jamia, Delhi University and other places. My friend Kondal, he and also Venkatesh, they have also come from different universities, from HCU and from NIIT Silchar. So students from different universities, they are joining, and your demand is complete caste census. So please tell us what is your demand, and what are you protesting for?
Yeah, first of all, we need to go we have backward, like historical significance of this caste census. In 1871, when first census happened, it's a partial census. It was in British rule, and they conducted this partial census, and from 1881 onwards, it's a complete census, including princely states. They conducted the caste census. 81 to 31 they conducted, 41 they did not conduct because of World War. 31 data is with us, 1931 data. Based on that data, Kaka Kalekar and also Mandal Commission reports are being highly relied on that 1931 data. And there was also attempt in 2011 through socio-economic caste census, but it was not done by the Ministry of Home, which actually do this census across the country, but it's a Ministry of Panchayati Raj, in fact, rural development and Panchayati Raj, in fact, they done this socio-economic caste census, which is again incomplete, and which is also having government itself saying there are around lakhs of errors within this socio-economic caste census. There was also attempt in 2015-16 through NSSO data. NSSO data, government cleverly announced that there are only 41% of OBCs in this country, whereas it contradicts with the Mandal Commission report. It says around 52%. This 41%, they are ready to announce this NSSO survey, which is based on sample survey, which is not a census, which is not entire country, but only sample survey they are ready to give it to the public. But whereas this caste census data is not being collected since independence. So now the problem with census, caste census, when they are collecting information from SCs and STs, and particularly within SCs caste wise and STs tribe wise and religion wise, Hindu, Muslim and different religions, whatever when they are counting all these groups, why can't all castes, including upper caste, OBCs, SCs, STs, they can do it this in coming census, so that they will have this empirical data with government to make these public policies, social welfare policies, and for implementation of reservations. And if some of the castes within this OBC is dominant, we have the dominant and non-dominant caste within this OBCs, they can also demand more reservations. And this 50% limitation, 50% cap on reservations will also go when you have the data in your hand, showing that these are the socio-educationally backwardness that is there with these communities, and you can increase the reservation benefits to beyond 50%, which is happening in Tamil Nadu, 67% reservations for different castes. So this 50% mark cap will only be lifted when you have the data, because judiciary will definitely ask you what kind of data you have, what is the reliability scientific data you have to say certain groups are socially and educationally backward under Article 15.4 and 16.4, which actually says socially and educationally backward communities can be provided with reservations. So our all demand starts with this note. Without caste census, it is very difficult for another 1 decade to wait, and there will be issues with dominant castes like Marathas, Kapus in South India, Marathas in Maharashtra, or Jats in Haryana, Gujars. These are the communities where they are asking for their inclusion within this OBC group. This 27% is not increasing, but there are dominant groups demanding for the inclusion into this OBC category. And the states are also having, this is a politics, so the politics and policy that is combining together. States are they want vote bank, and they are adding these communities into OBC. So these are the different issues for different questions that are being asked by the judiciary, or that are being asked by the executive or the legislative. Caste census will provide so many data, so many answers for these questions, typical, critical, Brahminical kind of set of questions. This caste census will give so many information, so much of information, so many answers also.
So okay, so caste census issue was very much in news, I think, in 2013, 14, 15. But why in last 4 or 5 years these important issues were not taken up? Why? And Modi government has so many OBC ministers. So why there is such paradox?
See, there is a problem with Congress and also with BJP.
Okay.
Congress in 2011, when many of the social groups, OBC groups asked for caste census, including the alliance partners, some of these progressive alliance partners, they never demanded strongly with this UPA. Then started with and again this group started demanding, and in fact in 2018, then Home Minister Rajnath Singh announced in the press meet, it's official data that is there in PIP. They said clearly, we are going to make 2011, we are going to collect information related to the caste of all categories. Not only SC, STs, we will be going for caste census. That means before elections, before general elections, they announced it. But in 2020, when elections are done, present Home Minister announced, and also there are questions, series of questions in Parliament recently also, that they will not conduct census for OBCs and other castes, but they are only collecting data with SC and STs. That means the entire debate has stuck down. So now problem is with opposition parties. Why opposition parties are not strong to demand this caste census? It is still till this maybe the UP elections coming up.
No, but I'm raising the question of the strength of the opposition party, particularly those coming from, let's say, Dalit and Bahujan political ideology. If they are not able to get reservations, OBC reservations implemented in medical examinations, and that issue was pending for I think 3 and 4 years, and I got one statistics from one organizations belonging to OBC, and they have said that thousands of seats were taken away by upper caste people and OBCs were given nothing. So if the political parties are not able to ensure reservations of OBC students in medical examination, should we keep hope from them that they will really do much for bringing about such a big change, and they will influence policy, and the government will be under pressure to go for caste census?
First of all, only I think Dravidian parties are very continuously keeping efforts. If you look at Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha questions, and also in the keeping the pressure, they are maintaining the consistency since 2010. They are continuously asking this demand. Whereas parties from UP and Bihar, that also in Andhra and Telangana and also Karnataka, where this JDS and regional parties are also there, they have the presence. They are not asking, they are not demanding for the caste census. Now Marathas in Maharashtra government is now demanding the caste census because Maratha issue is there. Now Naveen Patnaik is also coming and asking for the caste census. So whoever having this politics, that they wanted to play with this political game, with this caste group, dominant caste groups, they are playing this thing. If they really want caste census, they would have done with a action plan. You can see opposition leaders meeting every day, or maybe the once in a week, along with Rahul Gandhi, sitting in Constitution Club and having chit chat and discussing on different issues. Why this issue is not coming to the agenda? Why they are not stalling Parliament? When TMC leaders, when TMC MPs are stalling these 2 sessions, why can't the opposition, united opposition, play a role in demanding this caste census? Because it's very much important. So why problem is in Madhya Pradesh, which is actually the now opposition is Congress, which should demand caste census, because in Madhya Pradesh OBC reservation is not even 27, it's around 2021. In Naveen Patnaik's state, Odisha state, it's only 18. In West Bengal, it's not even 17 or 16, it's like not even 27. So these states really needs this data, because if you prove this data, then only you can convince the judiciary. Judiciary is also problematic. Now judiciary, when EWS reservation comes up, there is no report, there is no committee, there is no commission, and there is no data.
And there is no caste figure.
There is no caste
figure. Yes.
Then all of a sudden, one day they announced, and all opposition parties, in fact, I surprised that including the progressive Dalit Bahujan parties supported that reservation.
I think Dravidian party and RJD they opposed.
They opposed. No, RJD also later they agreed with this EWS reservations.
Okay.
So now problem lies here, political parties, because they are into vote bank. They feel Brahmins are 15% or something like that, plus in UP. So they need some upper caste vote bank,
and they're
appeasing this vote bank. Whereas your vote bank is this SC, STs and OBCs. OBCs are considered to be a very good vote bank. But see, this is the advantage for BJP. Why BJP is winning elections over elections, why they will also win future election is, they know the pulse of the how to make this disunity, or how to actually counter check the strategies of opposition parties, and how to actually make the opposition party in defense mode.
Okay, so 2 issues are very paradoxical as far as OBC reservations is concerned and Mandal politics is concerned. When I was reading Mandal Commission's report 2-3 days back, it is mentioned that if a person belonging to, let's say, OBC community, if that person becomes, let's say, superintendent of police, SP and collector, that individual will not help monetarily the whole community, but it gives some kind of confidence among the community that okay, one among our community has gone and that person has become officer and that person is making policy. So giving reservations is very important in jobs, and reservations in jobs can only be useful when you have reservations in, let's say, in educational institutions. So these are the spirit of let's say Mandal Commission's report. But one paradox is that while OBC reservation has not been fulfilled, I think there are several reports. Some reports say that it is only 21% OBC are there in government jobs. Some data says only 12%, and in university, particularly in Central University, we will find very few OBC professors. On the other hand, the Modi government has recently set up, I think a few years back, Rohini Commissions. And Rohini Commissions has leaked some information to press, and they are saying that very few castes at the top of the OBC, they are eating all the cream, everything, all the benefits of the reservations, and it is also creating some kind of mistrust. It is also destroying some kind of unity among the OBCs community. Now the lower OBCs is also demanding that on the line of Bihar, I think at all India level there should be two groups, that forward OBC and backward OBCs. So given 2-3 these complex issues, what is your comment? Yes.
So in fact, we actually, All India OBC Students Association has filed this RTI and found out that there are only 9 professors in across 41 central universities.
Okay.
So that means
nine, including JNU,
UHC. Including everything. You will hardly find any of the OBC professors in JNU at least.
Yes.
I don't know now what is the scenario, but it's very difficult to find OBC professors across the universities. And that news became very much aggressive, and we started demanding reservations in professor and associate professor. When you have data, when you have information in your hand, then only you can demand the things. So now also, you have asked 2-3 questions related to criminal layer, related to subcategorization, and related to how this
different perception.
For this, you already the data is coming up. There is only 13% of the government services A and B are OBCs. Now there are only, if you take all together, it's not even the 18% or 21% in PSUs, and in universities, 52% of all professor jobs are vacant. OBC professor jobs are vacant. These are the data sets that are coming up. Now we have to start demanding. Second important thing is Rohini Commission. Actually, where is the data with Rohini Commission?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Rohini Commission is highly relied on sending data information, or sending one letter to ministries, different ministries, asking them to identify castes of your employees or your students or your faculty members. So whoever giving the authority, who is giving the reliable whatever the information to Rohini Commission. Now Rohini Commission is also not having any kind of concrete, solid socio-educational backwardness of different castes. Maybe the Mandal Commission has identified around 3,700 castes. There is no solid information of different castes. So for that reason also you need, so subcategorization is very much needed when there is no equality among the castes. So you can see there is 2 categories in Bihar, 4 categories in Andhra Pradesh, and 3-4 categories in Karnataka. In Tamil Nadu there are around 3-4 categories in Tamil Nadu. So these are the categories A, B, C, D. Maybe based on the percentage they divided these categories.
But they are some people are also talking about all India.
All India caste. So now they started this non-dominant OBC caste started demanding subcategorization, and that's the reason BJP government also form this committee, maybe to appease this vote bank.
Yeah.
So, but if they really concerned about doing justice for this caste, they must conduct this caste census.
Okay.
If you are not, let me finish
Yes.
the last word. If you are not providing any kind of concrete data with this and going for a subcategorization, definitely you will be doing injustice to these communities because there will be so many hurdles in
So-
judiciary.
So what I have gathered from your statement is that all the confusion, all the controversies, they are existing or they are growing and thriving because we do not have data.
Data.
And for vote bank politics, people are what should I say? They are using the data in their own favor,
Yes.
and they are doing their politics. So okay, friends, as I have told you that tomorrow, friends from HCU and other university they have come, and they are going to hold demonstration in Jantar Mantar, and we are holding this discussion a couple of hours before in JNU. So with us is also Kondal from HCU. He is a state general secretary of All India OBC Students Association. So we'll take some questions from you also. Yes, yes. So, sir, please tell us about tomorrow's protest. What are you demanding for, and what are you hoping for? Yes.
Actually, our friend Kiran already told that tomorrow protest. Almost you already known about Mandal Commission and all those things because in 1931,
Yes.
caste census will done in 1931 till today, 1931 2021. Almost there is a 78 years gap, right? That's why we are unable to make the policies without empirical data, right? That's why we have to take the empirical data. At the same time, in 1980, December 31, Mandal report was already submitted. Already Kiran told that there are 3,000, more than 3,700 castes. OBC castes are there. Then you already asked one more question regarding categorization, right? That is also needed. But thing is, even today, we are not getting our 27%
Yes,
OBC
yes.
reservation.
Yes.
Even if you show even one education institution,
Yes.
then definitely we can do anything. If you say never, that will never happen in India, even one education institute, whether it is central universities or NITs and IITs. Especially in NITs, IITs, there are many exploitation against OBC reservation. Even if you see PhD interviews, especially PhD interviews, even no institution, especially IITs, NITs, they are not following 27% OBC implementation, reservation implementation. Then where we are going? That's why we are strongly need caste census of OBCs. At the same time, we are tomorrow we are conducting protest in Jantar Mantar to increasing our fellowships, our OBC fellowship from 1,000 to 5,000. If possible, 10,000 also we are demanding because our population is more than 53%. They are giving like it's like a what we call
Charity.
yeah, charity. It's our right to get the fellowships. At the same time, 27% reservation in every education every education institute. At the same time, employment. Kirnana already told that there are nine professors in all over 41 central universities. Where we are. That's why we are tomorrow we are going to protest in Jantar Mantar for OBC caste census. At the same time, all our education institution employment in promotions also they have to implement 27% reservation. These things we have to protest tomorrow in Jantar Mantar.
So will you suggest some ways to create more awareness among students and right thinking person? Yes.
Yeah, we are already gathering all over India intellectuals, at the same time academicians, even ground level also we are already building our entire organization cadres, especially as a student organization. We are already strengthening central universities, NITs, IITs, and also some state universities are also supporting us. Some, especially some other employees group, OBC employees group also coordinating with us. At the same time, they are also supporting economically. At the same time, in organization strengthening.
Okay, so one questions I will take from you, sir. Why the political parties, they are not much active, or they don't appear much active, while students and other sections they are doing a lot? Why there is such a mismatch?
See, for past 1 week, there are two trends. One, NDA allies like like JDU and Apna Dal. They are meeting Rajnath Singh and are demanding for caste census. On other side, BSP has given a statement that if you are doing a caste census, OBC census, then I will be supporting BJP in the upcoming elections, both at the state level and also at the central level. On other side, another parties like SP and RJD are saying they are staging the demand protest in different district headquarters. And south parties, southern parties are also active in this caste census. Why can't these groups come together across the party lines and do kind of concrete protest in Delhi, in Parliament? Parliament is going on. Ask the government to fix the government, because if you are not conducting this caste census, if you are not leaving this any stone against this government, then you will be waiting for another 10 years and your politics will be managed by any of the party. Maybe ruling party BJP will manage the things. So the united opposition and also united parties which are having demanding these parties, even JDU and Apna Dal, including RJD, SP and DMK and ADMK, all these regional parties, if Congress is not coming, you form an alliance and do this protest. So this is need of the hour. Without this, if you miss this thing, this opportunity, then it will be having problems. So tomorrow is a symbolic protest we are doing. If they are not uniting and doing any kind of protest, we will protest in front of their office, because we are criticizing government. Yes, it's okay, but you also failed. As a party, opposition parties, you also failed. We need to criticize them also.
Okay.
So these groups, whatever groups, now OBC employees groups, now student groups, they are come together here and doing this protest. If they are, the action plan is like this: you have to stop conducting this census and start the process, building this whatever the schedules, everything, and include this every caste should be there, and then go for the caste census. Second thing, if you are not going with the census without collecting this OBC data or other caste data, then we will be launching a national level protest to boycott this census, and a kind of non-cooperation movement should be built up. It's already building in some of the states like Maharashtra. If you are not counting OBC caste, other castes in census, then we will be boycotting. We will not be providing any kind of information to the census enumerator who are coming and collecting the data. When you are boycotting, then that is the indication that whatever the percentage is, it will not be a census. When there is no census means all information should be collected. But now the partial information you cannot be collected. It will not have any validity. So by this way, we wanted to express our dissent, or we wanted to start this non-cooperation movement.
Okay, so friends, we were just talking with J. Kiran Kumar, who is leader of All India OBC Students Association from University of Hyderabad. He is also doing PhD there in Political Science Department. One big problem, I think, as a journalist, as a scholar, as a student activist, we find it that there is no such great coordinations and networking among students from, let's say, progressive and from Dalit Bahujan background. And there is also very little homework also, because when I was doing one story on NEET and OBC reservations, I found that there is only one organization from Tamil Nadu which is compiling data. It is such a big issue, but not much data, not much information is being gathered and collected, and even if it is collected, it is not being disseminated. So the purpose of holding such discussion is to get connected with our friends from different university. So I think I hope that your organization has your social media page.
Yeah, we have our social media page. It's just type AIOBCSA either in Twitter or in Facebook. You will get our profile. Then whatever activities we are doing, we request everyone to share, retweet.
So if you want to share your contact number, in anybody who wants to get connected with you.
Yeah, anyone can get connected to us. So our email ID is AIOBCSA, All India OBC Students Association, AIOBCSA at gmail.com. Or you can also contact me on my mobile phone. My number is 8074 511 654.
Please repeat it.
8074 511 654.
Okay. Your number, brother?
Yeah, 9494 258 210.
Okay, so the friends, so we just hope that tomorrow's protest becomes a success, and I think it will be it will become a big demonstration, and government, those leaders who have completely forgotten their constitutional duty to take actions, special actions, which our constitution has said that a state can do and can make provision for removing, I think, social and educational backwardness of a particular group. So just we hope that tomorrow's our protest becomes successful, and I think government feels pressure, and government feels that they cannot just do injustice with the majority community of this country. Kiran, thank you very much for talking.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.